400? Well, the model takes into account a lot of features. It takes into account 400 different data features and compiles all this data over 30 years of data, 400 different features to come up with its forecasts and its confidence intervals. However, I want to highlight just one that's really compelling out of the 400. This particular feature is kind of exemplified by the graph on the right side there. On the x-axis, there's a proprietary index that we calculate that averages and tallies the last 45 days of precipitation rainfall across all the growing regions of the United States. So the x-axis is, when you get to the right, the bigger numbers mean more rainfall in the last 45 days. And the y-axis is the change in price of the DEES futures contract from May 31st to July 31st. So those 2 months, June and July, right? So from May 31st to July 31st, what did the futures contract do in the last 30 years relative to how much precipitation fell in the last 45 days? And if you look at that red box, just a little dash box that I've outlined, when the index was greater than 4.6, so this is more rainfall, right? When the index on May 31st was greater than 4.6, that happened in 12 out of the last 30 years. In none of those years were we higher on July 31st. Was the corn price higher on July 31st than it was on May 31st? Every single one of those 12 years, it went down. Now, the index today is at 580, so it's way on the right side. We've had a lot of precipitation. So it correlates very strongly to the price of corn being lower July 31st to May 31st. Now, this indicator is 12-0, but at the end of this year, could it be 12-1 by the time we get to August? It sure could. That's 12 data points, and this could be the first year that something reverses in this indicator. But it's a pretty compelling indicator when you combine it with all the other indicators the model is seeing that corn is kind of in a bearish mode right now, going lower in the short term and the long term.